Hi everyone, today's video is the 15th, so that means it's going to be a Pan That Palette update. I know I haven't uploaded in a few days. I actually had an issue where I couldn't get my iPad, which is what I film on, to connect to my computer, and it was kind of a mess. But that's beside the point. We're going to talk about my Pan That Palette today, and in case you don't know, this is the first update, and I am panning the Lorac Tale All This Time palette. Now, unlike a lot of people, I'm not having a deadline for this, so it's not, I mean, yes, in a perfect world, I would love to finish by the end of the year, but it's not like a hard and fast deadline. It's just, I'm going to work on it until I finish it. And here is the palette today. I know that it's very reflective. It's very bright out. It's almost 70 degrees here in good old Savannah. And so the reflective packaging is a little bit of a pain, but hopefully you can see that there has been some progress. Now, I haven't hit pan on anything new. I had already hit pan on beast mode, but I've definitely used it quite a bit, and I will go ahead and on my Instagram post a up-close picture, and I did that last time, so it'll be a kind of an easy way to see the differences. But let's just go ahead and go through each shade. So this shade is called Dream It, and that's what I have on my inner corner today. It's a great shade for the inner corner. However, I am panning a different inner corner highlight, so I haven't used it that much. Then we have Timekeeper, which is this gorgeous, like, shimmery taupe. Really great for all over the lid. I did not mention this, but I do have a full review of this with swatches. I feel like if I swatch it every single time, it's going to get a little redundant, and it's also going to be a little bit wasteful. So, I'm not doing that. But if you want to see my review, I will go ahead and link it below, and then you can really see good swatches of it. Then we have, sorry, I don't know these names yet. This is Our Guest. It's a beautiful gray. I wore it all over the lid one day. It was really pretty that way. It's also nice in the crease, although it does look a little bit patchy sometimes. Then we have this shade Impress, which is what I have in my outer corner today. This is a really, really beautiful shade. It's definitely like kind of purpley. Like it's like a cool tone, like purpley burgundy shade. It's very unique. I did try to use it in my brows one time and it did not work there, so don't do that, but it's great. Then we have the shade The Beast, which is, like I said, I have used it, I think, probably once or twice in this past month. But it's this beautiful, like, deep brown shade. It's got kind of a satin finish. I really like it in the outer corner. Then we have this shade, Enchanting. This shade it's good. It's like this beautiful gold. I told you I wasn't going to swatch. But do y'all see that pink reflect that's in it? It does have this little bit of like a pink reflect in it. It's very nice. It does take a lot of building up. So there is a pretty good dip in that guy. And I've used that a few times. Then we have Swept Up, which is this beautiful black shade with some glitter in it. I would use that to set my lids, but I'm using, as you can see, like a liquid liner because I am panning that as well. Then we have the shade Look Beyond. This shade is a really nice, like, crease shade or transition shade. And that's pretty much what I've been using it for. It does, like, really, in a swatch, it just kind of looks like mustardy. But you can see it does deepen up a lot compared to what it looks like in the pan, at least in my opinion. So it actually works really well in the crease. Then we have this shade My Castle, which is a nice, like, shimmery brown. I use that on, like, the outer V. It's not one of my favorites. I just don't like that kind of shade very much, but it does work well. Then we have Chip In, which is a matte, kind of a slightly yellow-toned highlight. And I have it on my brow bone today and down the center of my nose. I am tomorrow, because I was supposed to do it yesterday, but like I said, I was having issues. I'm going to be finishing a project pan, my 14 by Valentine's Day project pan, and so I have been panning a matte white, but now that that's over, I'll be focusing solely on this, and that'll help me get through it a little bit more, I believe. Then we have the shade Romantic, which is kind of like the warm tone version of Impress. So we have like a cool tone and a warm tone. It's gorgeous again in that outer V. It really deepens up a look, but makes it like a gorgeous, like a red rustic look. We have Spellbreaker, which is, as you can see, it's like a brown with a lot of gold glitter. It's nice, but I like a lot of times kind of similar to Swept Up. This glittery shade, the glitter doesn't really stay in there, which is kind of disappointing, honestly. But it is nice. It's good, again, just deepen up the outer V. Then we have this shade, Inner Beauty, which is one that I was really worried about, but actually I have it on today as a transition, and I absolutely love it that way. Great shade. Then we have Tea Time, which is what I have on my lids. Tea Time I could maybe pass off as an inner corner highlight when I went out of Dream It. But it's a little bit dark for that, but it's great all over the lids. I really, really love this look I have today on, honestly. Then I have TikTok, which is what's in my crease. Another great crease shade, and it does work as a transition as well. excuse me, depending on how dark you want your look to go. And then we have this shade Real You, which I did use once. It's another one of those like matte shades with a lot of glitter. It's a little bit chunkier and rougher in texture than these other two right here, than Swept Up and Spellbreaker. This one's a little more rougher in texture, but it does work okay. So this is where I am. I've done a lot of work on it. Again, this is the eye look I have. I know I've gotten some requests to do looks with this. I just have so many videos I want to film, but I do want to put that up, especially before it gets kind of, you know, dilapidated. So, goals for next month. So, like I said, I will be updating you the 15th of every single month. Now, the only reason that these, you know, these are like my goals, obviously I might not meet them. And don't forget, I do have a weekly product pan, which I did not use that item today because, again, like I said, I only wanted to use this palette, but I do have a weekly product pan. So because of that, I could pull out something that's very similar to this. But my goals, I would like to, I don't think I could hit pan in this Inner Beauty shade, but I'd like to make a dip. It is relatively hard packed, especially for a Lorac shadow. They're known to kind of be, you know, really powdery and stuff. This one's a lot harder packed. So I'd like to make a dip in there as well as in Chip In, because again, I can use this every single day, and I can use this every day as a transition, this every day as my matte brow bone highlight, and I think I can make some dips in that. And I'd like to be able to hit pan in the shade Enchanting. As you can hopefully appreciate, there is a relatively large dip in it. I would say if I used that, this is a very powdery shade. I'm comparing it to Beast Mode, which does have pan, in case you're wondering what I was doing. Let's say like 5 or 6 times. I do believe I could hit pan on it, and I would like to hit pan on that because then I would have 2 shades with pan already. So again, dip, dip, and pan. Those are my main goals. If I hit anything else, that'd be awesome. But I have used every single shade in this palette. If I was only letting myself use this and not using any other eyeshadows, I would be very bored because this is a gorgeous palette, but it's hard to get a lot of unique looks out of it, but I have been doing it. I use it every single day and I've really been enjoying it. I'm still having a lot of fun playing with it. So this is a great palette. Really, really, I know you can't get any more, but it's fun. If you have it, pull it out. You can get some great looks. Like I said, I'm really enjoying, obviously I have this green eyeliner on today, so that's kind of my pop of color, but I think this look is really nice. Also, just in case this is your first one, I am not double dutying any of these shadows, so you know, like, yes, I could use Tea Time and especially, Tea Time and Dream It, and especially Tea Time, I think, as a like a highlight on my face. I could double duty these, but I don't want to do that because I have so much makeup, and like that's not, I mean, it's not a bragging thing, but I do. But yeah, I could use this as a highlighter and I'd get through this faster, but I also have like 50 highlighters, so I don't like double dutying, just because I have so much of everything, you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. And yes, that might make my progress a little bit slower, but I'm really happy with the progress I have right now. I didn't hit pan on anything, but like I feel like there's, again, I'm sorry about that light, but there's a big dip in TikTok, and you know, I just feel like there's a lot of dips and a lot of usage. You can tell I've used Empress a lot. I just feel like this palette looks used, which is kind of the goal. So, like I said, dip, dip, pan, those are the goals for next week, or next month. I will be updating y'all on the 15th of September. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please leave any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down below. What is that? I guess I dug my finger into a dark shade. That looks kind of gross, doesn't it? Sorry, I messed up my little spiel. Leave any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down below. Talking to y'all honestly and truly. I mean it with all my heart. It's one of my favorite things. I love speaking with y'all. Getting to really talk about makeup. You know, sometimes we don't agree on stuff. Like, especially, surprisingly, I made a why I'm not going to buy it video about the Becca Ocean Jewels palette. I'll link it below in case you missed it. And a lot of people are, you know, disagreeing, which is great. You know, it's really interesting to see that, like, dichotomy and, like, how certain people, you know, just how different it is. And obviously I didn't swatch it, and I don't own that palette, and that's why. But it's just really cool. So I like talking to y'all. I like seeing y'all's opinions about stuff. You know, I just think it's interesting to see how everyone feels. And, like, especially with those bigger brands like Becca, which I feel like people are so hardcore loyal to Becca because they very, very rarely, if ever, kind of have a flop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And if there's a video you want to see, let me know, because I want to make videos you want to see always. So if there's something that you're really dying to see, let me know. And with that, I'll just see y'all real soon. Bye.